All right, everyone, how are we doing? Cobra Trading here for another Bitcoin analysis. Today is Friday, February 14th. Happy Valentine's Day to you all. And it's just about 11:20, 11:30 here, just before noon. So let's go ahead, get right into the charts after a word from our sponsors. Want to get trading like I do on a trustworthy exchange that actually cares about what their customers' opinions and feedback is? Look no further. DueDEX is a new exchange that prides themselves in putting their users first, and they are very upfront about everything that they do. They are quoted in saying it's all about being fair to our customers and creating that level of playing field for our traders. Sign up below with the link in our description and you can get up to a $110 trading bonus with qualifying deposit. What are you waiting for? If you're watching all of our analysis videos and tutorials, isn't it time to put your own skills and knowledge to the test? All right, so I myself haven't even looked at the chart since last night, but I haven't looked at any of the larger time frames probably since I recorded the last video. So on the weekly chart, it's looking like we're sitting right at this upper resistance level here. I'm actually going to go ahead and turn this one green because this is going to be support now. But we're sitting right at this resistance level at about $10,300. We did pop up to about 10,005, which if you look, it's actually lined up perfectly with this big previous candle that we had over here back in October. So we pretty much nailed the exact same level, just over $10,500 on the weekly chart. I'm not quite sure what this line is for. I guess just a mid-range line here between our two support and resistances. But anyway, so we've got volume. Obviously, our price has really been skyrocketing here over the last couple weeks. We've seen a really couple bullish couple months here. And if you look, our volume is just like slowly tapering off. So that is one indication that we might be reaching an end to this soon. And you know, we might end up seeing something like this play out where we just see one big drastic, move to the downside before continuing our way up. So what our indicators on the weekly chart tell us is our momentum obviously has been picking up. We haven't quite crossed into the bullish zone on this moving oscillator. And our MACD looks like it might be topping here and coming in for some kind of a bearish cross. So if we look at our Ichimoku on the weekly chart, we're right at that upper cloud resistance. So we've been in the cloud for quite some time on the weekly chart. We never actually broke down through the bottom of the cloud to touch this 200 moving average, which is quite bullish considering our previous move all the way up to 14K. We just kind of, once we came back into the cloud and we broke through our Tenkan-sen and our Kijun-sen, we've just kind of been floating around in here. Once we broke below the Kijun-sen, we were using this 100 EMA line as very strong support. And now coming back to the upside, we're using this top of the cloud as very strong resistance here. So the top of the cloud ranges from 10,430 all the way up to right now about 10,830. So it's a few $100 range right there. And you know, like I said, we've got this volume that's just been tapering off here for some time. Even through this big uptrend that we have, the volume's been slowly coming down, and the volume's fallen now below our 20 moving average line here on our volume indicator. So just something to watch with that. On our daily chart, I want to kind of focus on Ichimoku Cloud. I haven't really done too much Ichimoku analysis recently. Last video I did fib analysis and stuff like that, and recently I've been putting videos out on my own Twitter that link to my TradingView channel, and just kind of doing like maybe once or twice a week I'll do like a 2 or 3 minute little update with the TradingView platform, and I'll just publish a little video directly from my TradingView. So keep an eye for that. Anyway, so on our daily chart here, let's take a look at our other indicators as well. It looks like we keep pushing higher on our RSI up here, and Before, in my last video, I said that, we're starting to get some bearish divergence here. That's still playing out. We didn't get a higher high on our RSI. However, we did in price, and we're still making our way down on our RSI while the price has been going upwards. So that's something to look out for. Again, it's very, very slight here. It's nothing crazy. But if you, because if you look back from here, we were still getting higher highs. Up to this point, up to this candle here. And once we hit this candle, we had a retrace, obviously. And since that point, now it's kind of just been coming back downward to this downside. So that's something that I've been keeping a very, very close eye on. On our MACD, we are getting, we actually, with this daily candle close, we will have a confirmed bearish cross on our MACD. And our volume here really, really spiked up. We had a lot of bearish volume here. And obviously through the day today, this volume candle will be growing or shrinking, turning either bullish or bearish as the day goes on. But for right now, this definitely does kind of look like a top to me just in terms of candlesticks. We had this major bullish engulfing candle, and then we got this, this bearish hammer. We have a confirmed close spinning top. And now for the day so far, we're getting a bullish hammer. So just a lot of indecisive movements here. And I'm going to be watching this very closely because, again, if this is a top and we do start switching over to the downside, that's definitely a play that I want to be making, right? I definitely want to be able to get in on that short trade. So let's see, turn this off. So what does Ichimoku tell us? We are way, way, way above the cloud, the Tenkan-sen, the Kijun-sen, all of our moving averages, just extremely, extremely bullish momentum here. So, this is looking really good, but Ichimoku alone is not really enough to be able to be a solid indication of support and resistance flips unless you're already near all of these levels with the moving averages and the TK lines and the cloud and stuff like that. We're so far beyond that we're going to be having to use other indications for when we're going to be flipping over. So a really good way to do that is using MACD, using long-term oscillators and things like that, like this that I have down here, this moving oscillator. Props to Satoshi Heavy for giving me access to this. This is his indicator. Very well done. I use this quite often, especially on the larger time frames. So we're going to have to look towards other indicators in our toolbox to be looking for points where we're going to be reversing here. So one good one to use that I'm not going to get into right now, although I might do a tutorial on it later on down the road, is the parabolic SAR. And SAR obviously stands for stop and reverse. So that is a very good indicator to use, especially on these larger time frames like the daily chart and the 12-hour chart for confirmed larger trend changes. So those are very good things that I'm going to be looking towards. If we come down here to the 12-hour chart, oops, the 4-hour chart, sorry about that. If we come down here to the 4-hour chart, we can see that we've just been kind of fighting the Tenkan and the Kijun-sen this entire way up here. We lost support here and kind of dipped below our 100 EMA, and then we rocketed right through it. We blew sideways right into the Tenkan and then just kind of broke down, used the 50 EMA as support, broke back through the Tenkan, continued up higher, used it here as support, then we broke back down, used the 50 EMA as support again. So we've been kind of testing the 100 and the 50 EMA all the way up here, which is actually even back into here, we've been testing the 50 EMA. So this is definitely a really, really strong bullish uptrend, considering that we've been using the 50 and the 100 EMA and the Tenkan and Kijun-sen lines on our Ichimoku cloud all the way up. That is definitely very, very good. Now, on the 4-hour chart here, you can see that this bearish divergence is way more pronounced here. Starting all the way back from here, you can see that we've had it back from the 8th. So for a couple days now, I guess on the daily chart that translates as well, but it's definitely more pronounced here on the 4-hour chart because we have more data that we're dealing with. Now, On our MACD, we weren't getting that, right? We didn't have it as pronounced from there. We did get a higher high on the MACD, and now the MACD looks like it's kind of flipped over, right? So we hit a top here, we had a triangle, we broke down out of the triangle, used our Ichimoku line as support, came up. Now we've got a doji here, and we're forming our next candle. This candle actually just opened about 30 minutes ago, right before I started this video. So it's looking like for right now on these smaller time frames that this could be our wave 5, and now we're going to start turning over. Maybe this is a 1-2, and we're going to come down into a 3 at our 50 EMA, come up, retest the top of the Tenkan-sen, and then back down, test the Kijun-sen line, and that would be a 5-wave sequence of an A wave before coming back up here and testing these levels again before coming down, testing the top of this cloud. I would definitely like to see the top of this cloud get tested before continuing up any higher than this. It would be very beneficial for us in terms of long-term bear market, because it wouldn't be necessarily a huge major correction. I am expecting something between like 92 and 9,500, somewhere to retest this major box in here. And as long as we hold this 9,200 area, we'll be holding the 200 EMA as well as the bottom of our cloud and this major area of support and resistance in here as well. As long as we don't break below that, I think that at this point it would be a very healthy retrace for Bitcoin to continue further up long term. So that's definitely going to be the areas that I'm going to be watching on these smaller time frames. On our 1 hour chart, I went ahead here and I just kind of updated everything and was just kind of updating my Elliott wave count and all of this stuff. It's kind of a mess if you go through here and look. I'll take the Ichimoku off just so that you guys can see this. But basically, I went through and I basically had to relabel this entire bottom so that it would fit for this move to be a wave 1, because as I said before, there was just real no way for me to pull a 5-wave sequence out of this entire thing on these lower time frames, right? I mean, when you zoom in here, you can clearly see that this is one wave, this is another wave, this is a third wave here. This is not a 5-wave sequence. I can't really pull a 5-wave sequence out here on the medium intervals for Elliott wave count. So I went ahead and redid this entire section on the bottom here and just kind of relabeled everything all the way up. There was definitely a lot of stuff that I had to relabel here. This is actually overlay. I don't know why that's there. What I can tell you is that this whole bottom area was giving even some of the most advanced chartists very, very big issues. So now that I've got that done, I can definitively say that this move up here, I'm going to be looking to label this most recent move up and this kind of sideways action here later on. But for right now, in terms of Ichimoku on the 1 hour chart, it's looking really, really choppy, right? I mean, we had this really major scammy wick to the upside. After we broke down, we had this huge scammy wick, and then we kind of formed this this pennant here that didn't really play out. We kind of tested the top of our Tenkan Kijun-sen lines, which looked like they were going to cross over bearishly, and then they didn't. We ended up getting like a bullish fake out here and then a move to the downside. I've been short on this since we came down. I've been short on this after we got this this scammy wick here. I've been playing this to the short side. Very interesting structure here on our Ichimoku cloud, and on the lower time frame, our other indicators, the other ones that I use are we are coming in now for another bearish cross on this lower time frame. We already have that confirmed here. I think it was on our daily chart. Is with this daily candle close, we'll have a confirmed bearish cross. So the fact that the daily and the 1 hour, the 1 day and the 1 hour charts are getting confluent with our MACD is normally a pretty telling sign that you're going to end up getting some kind of reversal coming in soon. So the next level I'm going to be looking at testing is going to be the bottom of our cloud here, which was prior support down at about 10,115. So if there is a break of this cloud here, then obviously, like I said, the next level that we're going to test is our 200. On the 1 hour chart, that's about a nice even $10,000, which totally makes sense right now. And then obviously if that breaks, that's when I'm going to be looking at targeting anywhere between somewhere in here between $92 and $9,500. This is a really solid area in here of support and resistance. So if 10,000 breaks, this is basically going to be my next like midterm target for a short play on this. That's really all that I have for you guys this afternoon. Like I said, I want to keep these analysis a little shorter so that it's not like a struggle to watch through this. If you guys like the video, go ahead, give us a thumbs up and let us know what you liked about it in the comments down below. If you didn't like it, same thing. Give me a thumbs down. Let me know what we can do better down in the comment section down below. Don't forget to check out our completely newly redesigned website at aedge.org. Links to all of that is in the description down below. And with that said, I hope you all have a wonderful Valentine's Day and an exceptional weekend. Happy trading.